Actress with a Service Dog.
Hey there, welcome back to another episode of the Actress with the Service Dog podcast. I am Renee Michaels, and I was really hoping that today I would get to talk about something a little more lighthearted, maybe not necessarily related to service animal issues, but that's just not going to happen, simply because of a video that appeared on my For You page on TikTok, and I just could not talk about it. It has to do with access issues, which is a topic that I was hoping to cover at a later date, and I still will in more detail. But yeah, I just really was frustrated when I saw this video and felt like it needed to be brought to attention. And this particular company needs to be held accountable for creating a problem. We were talking about a video that focuses on Winston-Salem Transit Authority in North Carolina, where the security guard was demanding to see an ID for a service animal that frequents, and when I mean frequent, they've been there, going there since this dog was a puppy and was training, and this is somebody that everybody knows, the bus drivers there know. So the fact that all of a sudden they have decided to impose this particular new rule that they've had since December. Here we are in March of 2024, and they are just now deciding to impose this on this particular person. Don't know why they've decided to start enforcing this at this point in time, but let's just watch this video. I'm going to try not to interrupt as much as possible, but I mean, I do think that there's some things that I need to tell you and talk about with you as we go through it. Ready? Here we go.
Okay, so you're telling me, yes, because so per the ADA law states that you cannot ask for proof because there is none. You can only ask me, is it a service animal? And if not obvious, what task was he trained to perform? He is a cardiac, seizure, and blood sugar alert service animal.
So this particular handler has chosen to share more medical information, kind of, telling them what her disability is by saying what the dog is trained for. Handlers don't have to do that. If you don't want to tell strangers what your disability is, you don't have to be that specific. You can just focus on the tasks that the dog does. So, for example, if somebody were asked that to me and I didn't want to tell them what the issue was, I would just say that my dog alerts to an oncoming medical episode by tapping me with her nose or tapping me with her paw or something like that. So that's not giving away what my disability is. So this is up to the handler how they want to do it, but this handler does an amazing job. They're very, very well versed on the ADA and did a really good job standing up for themselves.
But if it's not obvious, you can't kick me out of the premises when he's actually been training here since he was a puppy.
We can refuse business to anybody for anything. It doesn't just have to be for the service dog.
This is federal law, though.
Okay, this is city property.
It doesn't matter, private or if it's open to the public, you can't deny me access to a service animal.
So what about if the code of conduct says you're not allowed to have service animals here unless you have the code?
Then that's illegal. You can look up the ADA law, just like with grocery stores per the FDA, you can't have animals in there.
Stepping into civil boundaries?
I don't know what this security guard is even thinking he's doing. He's like, well, what if this, and what if it says this, and what if it says that? It doesn't matter what it says. She's telling you what the ADA says. Your code of conduct, your policies at your business do not trump federal law. And we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second.
We have to send these to the city per the policy that they have here. But for the time being, if we don't have a card,
but there is no card, sir. Legally, there is no card.
What you're talking about?
We covered this in another video. There is no card, there is no ID, no certification or anything recognized by the ADA. It is illegal for them to ask for it, and you shouldn't have it. And even if you have a legitimate service animal and you think it's easier by getting one of these IDs, it might be easier for you, but you're making it way more difficult for the next person with a legitimate service animal who refuses to fall into that trap.
is separate from criminal law. Civil and criminal is different.
I
So
am-
you may say, hey, it's a federal crime, this and that. It's not.
It's not a federal crime.
Yeah.
It's federal law. I am protected by the Americans with Disability Act to having a service animal anywhere in the public.
And if the city,
involved.
if the city says otherwise, then you have to simply sue the city for their policies, not for what we're enforcing.
But this is odd to me because I literally have a shop that's right here. I've been here for 2 years. He's been training here. There's even several police officers here that know me.
I understand, but as of recently,
As of
December-
yesterday?
December 1st, 2023, they have conduct training.
I've been in here like 50 times since then. Hi.
What's going on?
He's denying me access to my service animal. He says that unless I show proof that he's a service animal, I have to ask him. He actually is cardiac.
This officer clearly knows the ADA law, and you'll see a little bit more of that because that's what he asks the correct questions. He asks what he's allowed to ask. So he's very well informed, which is unusual, to be honest, because I have spoken to law enforcement officers before, and they are not really that well educated on it, which is a shame. I hope that changes so that they can also advocate for service animal handlers.
Alert. He does seizure response and blood sugar alert, as well as mobility assistance. Can you inform him of that, though, please? Because he's actually going to get somebody right now to have me escorted out.
I'm
Okay.
actually the police officer.
That's what I was just trying to explain to him nicely. I was approaching him nicely, right?
Yes.
I was trying to be very, like,
You're good.
cool about it, but
It's no soon.
Very cool about it. I don't even know how they are able to keep their cool because I think that I would be having a breakdown at this point. So kudos.
Please.
yeah, no, he's a king, Corso. Yeah, he is.
God, he's beautiful.
Thank you. He's been training here since he was a puppy, bro. Like, they all, like, know him. Even the bus drivers know him. That's why I'm like, which one just changed in December? I've been coming in here, training with him. His test was actually just last month we were in here. So, like, I think it's because he probably doesn't realize that legally he's not required by law to be vested. He might just see
like
that.
just like we technically can ask him for proof.
Exactly.
All we can ask you is what task does it perform? Is it a service animal?
Just exactly what I was explaining to him. It doesn't matter if it's city or private. Like Walmart's private, but they still have to abide by federal law. I understand it's civil. He is right about that. Like if you were to deny me access, it would be civil. I can't have you come out here and you make them let me in. That can't happen. I would file a police report. Who the hell wants to do that? I am here to cause no problems. Just doing my training, doing my thing, and minding my own business. I ain't here to start nothing, but I appreciate it. I guess just let them know because he just told me to wait here and he was going to get his supervisor.
You don't need to wait that.
Okay. So I was kicked out of the bus station, which I have been a patron there for 2 years. And I guess as of December of last year, they changed the rules. He specifically told me that I have to show them an ID for a service animal as per their code of conduct or codes, right? So this is the paperwork he handed me as I was asked to leave the building. Funny. Number 17. No pets are allowed inside the TC, administrative, or maintenance facilities. Service animals are permitted in compliance with ADA regulations. There is nothing here that says that their policy states that they have to ask for an ID and I have to show it. And if they are following, or, you know, the ADA regulations specifically states, obviously, that I do not have to show him proof or anything of that sort. So, yeah, guys. Literally handed paper stating that I was violating their code of conduct. And, yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Well, there you have it. I really, really hope that this particular handler follows up with this and gives us an update on what's happening. I hope that they're able to get an attorney to help them. This is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I actually went on their website and found this code of conduct. I read it. They're absolutely correct. There's nothing that mentions asking for ID at all. This guy is just pulling it out of a hat somewhere because he's apparently on some kind of power trip. I don't know. But yeah, it's completely illegal what they did. So I really do hope that they're held accountable for it. And interesting enough, they have an entire page on their website dedicated to the ADA, stating that they are compliant. I beg to differ. If, I'm thinking it's probably just this particular supervisor, this particular security guard, because, this trainer or this handler has been there many times and never had an issue. This is where they go a lot of times to train and to, probably just travel back and forth on the buses and never had any problems. So clearly this is an issue with this particular supervisor, security guard, whatever. I hope that they educate them and that they make a public statement explaining the situation and apologizing to this handler, and that they change how they train their staff. Anyway, so you can find them on Facebook, so please feel free. Winston-Salem Transit Authority in North Carolina. They might need to hear from us. They might need to, feel a little pressure from the service animal community, as well as those of us who choose to advocate for service animal handlers. I really want to see people do better. I'm